Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So they bring out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Love from the gun. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They go bootleg. Love. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On 1st and 10, Love. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 10 catches, 78 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
Again, it's Love. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And how about this, a fake? And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to, whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He completes it to Boyd. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. Love's throw here complete to Kelsey.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Egyptians have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Booker to return it. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Mahomes. On the check down, it's Ingram. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now it's Mahomes again. This is the tight end, Njoku. A gain of 6 there on 1st. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll run here with Ingram. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. 2nd down and goal. Mahomes. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Darrell Taylor. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
It's 3rd and goal. And it's caught. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Love. Oh, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. Jadeveon Clowney. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Love. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taking it about the 36. We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over.
London about set to take over on offense.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
They bring their punter out there now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
Here's Memphis to once again go on offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something?
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And what a big-time play there.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for it to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun. Love.
Oh, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down.
He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. On 2nd down, Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
So that about the shortest pass a quarterback can make, but it winds up going for a bundle.
Yeah, let's face it, in the stats, it sure looks like a heck of a throw, doesn't it? It's almost like in baseball when you get that little Texas leaguer that turns into a double. You would think that you hit it off the wall. Big-time play for him on a short little pass.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Trey Hendrickson gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also fourth down now.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jordan Love.
And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. To pass, here's Jordan Love. It's Kelsey on the ground.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Love. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off around the 41. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
London about set to take over on offense.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
Now here's Mahomes. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Lewis. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Mahomes going to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Lewis. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Monarchs have moved out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better? Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 6-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Jordan Love in this offense, ready to get the football back.
He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Monarchs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is now 13. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. This offense back to work now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Love. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. First down going to the air with Love. Complete. The tight end Kelsey. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now Love. Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jordan Love in this offense, ready to get the football back.
And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? Shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Pollard going to try the right side, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Pollard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Love now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
On the draw, it's Pollard. Gets past one man. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw now. Here's Love. And it's caught. Touchdown. Devin Funchess. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Egyptians have got it back to within a score.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Booker to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
From the 31, Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first down, Mahomes. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds, because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On second down now, it's Ingram. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
7 yards, the pickup there.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3 yards remain for second down. On the option, it goes to Ingram.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Monarchs are able to stretch out their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the two-point try.
Mahomes will throw for it.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Jordan Love in this offense, ready to get the football back.
And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter, and continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time?
They were really good on the last drive.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Love looking to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on here to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. Man down on the return. We'll check on his status when we get back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. A 2nd down throw for Love. He finds Hopkins complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Love's throw pulled in by Hopkins.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And this offense on third down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Play action this time with Love. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. To the air again, Love. And finding the tight end Hooper.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Pollard.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Tony Pollard. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Egyptians have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Santos now to add the PAT. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Booker to return it.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
48 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw there caught by Gallup.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. On 2nd down, it's Ingram. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Ingram again. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. Mahomes. Man open. It's Kupp. He's got it. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
And there it is, the standard symbol. Taking a knee means that one team won and the other one obviously lost the ball game. But now that team that won is 2-2. After the first 4 games, I think they're okay with a 2-2 start. Not overly happy, but at the same time, not depressed either.
You mentioned to me breaking down a season in quadrants. So the first quadrant is kind of a check, as you said, for okay. Not great, not bad.
Yeah, right now they're just holding serve. They look forward to their next 4. Maybe they can make a surge there.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating, even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync. So for the home team here, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.